Thanks. I won't hold you guys up for long before lunch, but yeah, just great to hear the stories, and I found it really interesting seeing the local supply and some of the the low-hanging fruit that's already underway, and it's definite to say there are boilers here now, and it's on that path of what we're trying to achieve with the Wood Energy South project. My name is Lloyd McGinty, and I'm the technical support on this project, and I come down from Dunedin every other week, and I work down here a couple of days with the Venture Southland crew, and I've learnt a lot about all the secret holiday spots while I've been down here, and been off to Borland and off to Monowai, so I've seen the Monowai generator, and yeah, it's an exciting project, and my role is to just go and talk with these end users and see, let them know that this opportunity is here for businesses. Our team at Venture consists of it's not just Kathy and myself, but Kathy has a big part to do with it. We've also got Steve Canny involved, and Steve is overseas at the moment. I think he might have been in Korea, and then he had a bit of annual leave. And Alistair Adam is also part of that team, along with Adina Purvu and also Robin McNeil. So there's a few of us, and yeah, it's we're quite fortunate because, as people have already said, Venture Southland have got what I've found down here is I've got a really trusted reputation, and they've already got some really well established business relationships. So when I'm going to meet these companies that have big coal boilers, all I have to do is peer in the door and talk to Alistair, and all of a sudden, we've done this with them. So they've got this trusted relationship, so it certainly makes it a lot easier putting that foot in the front door, and it doesn't get shut on your face. So yeah, the target for this project is 0.15 petajoules per year. Now we've got 3 years to establish that 0.15 petajoules, and then that will be ongoing once we've made that targeted savings. That's about 150,000 gigajoules, and turning that into a wood chip sort of volume at, it's about 55,000 cubes of wood chip at 30%. And breaking that down again so we could understand that number a bit easier, a lot of these chip liners that turn up are about 100 cubes of chip, so it's about 550 deliveries of those chips into bunkers around Southland. And that's sort of about where the supply is in Dunedin at the moment. Dunedin's probably sitting in that 150,000, in that 55,000 cubic chip range at the moment. So, and Dunedin's had a bit more time on its side to get there. So they're pretty hefty targets, which, that just suggests that we need to be going after these large industrial and commercial sites. So, and there's plenty of them down here. I've seen some Alliance representatives here today, and they've got a lot of big boilers around here. To give you an example, Alliance in Lawnville is about 400,000 gigajoules. Our target's 150,000. Matoda is about 35,000 gigajoules, so that's sort of a third of what we're trying to achieve. And Makarewa is about at 12,000 gigajoules. So the plant are there, but it's not going to be. Coal is cheap, so we can't just look at the price of coal. We need to be looking beyond this, and what Peter was talking about around all the other benefits that we haven't taken into account, that we need to be taken into account when comparing ourselves against coal. Wood chip stacks up, on its own against other fuels, electricity, LPG and diesel, so it can fight its own fight in that respect. But against coal, we need to take in the whole life cycle of the project, and Gavin and the Ministry of Education have done some good work around that, and there's some good research out there for them for why they are choosing to install wood chip boilers. Yeah, so to assist us with reaching our targets, we're going to dangle a bit of money in front of people and see if that makes any difference. And we've got some nice carrots to dangle. We've got funding for feasibility studies to get your consultants in, your trusted engineers or whatever, to do those detailed assessments of your sites. Now that funding will cover up to 50% of the cost of your study, up to a maximum of $15,000. So that's a significant contribution. And then, so for those that want to go a bit further and decide, yep, look, this is what we're after, we've also got capital support for the project. And that's been divvied up based on dollars per displaced energy. So, it is aimed at the larger guys, so the more energy that we can displace with wood coal, the more funding that you'll get. And that's set at $4 a gigajoule. And to put that into context, I was talking about Matoda, they're 35,000 gigajoules on their 4 megawatt boiler out there. So that would be a contribution of about $140,000 towards their project. And, is that enough to get them across the line? I don't know, but, you throw that into the picture and you see what happens. We've also developed our website, and I don't know if I can get it up here, but I'll try. I might try. I'll see how we go. But on that website, oh no, we haven't got access. Okay. On that website, we'll have all the information related to industrial users, commercial users, to schools, and that's our target audience. That's really our target audience, and on that list, on that website too, will be our list of service providers. So we've been working with EECA to develop a list of service providers, and these are people that have experience working in this sector. And we've got 12 listed on there at the moment, and I've seen a couple of service providers in the room today. I haven't had a chance to say hello to them yet, but I'll get around there. Yep, there's Nathan there. And they've all been given a provisional accreditation at this stage, and we're in the process of developing a course that will get them full accreditation, and all these provisional providers will then have to do the course, and then they'll get listed on our website as fully accredited service providers. It's sort of similar to other EECA programs that are running at the moment. Oh yeah, and that's about it. So the website is woodenergysouth.co.nz, and I think we launched it about an hour ago. But it's there, it's up there, and it's still work in progress, but we've got all the key pieces of information, and we'll start adding to that as we go, and we'll get more case studies up there. And so if there are any, if there are people in this room here today that are really thinking about what's out there, would we like to see this plant and all that, definitely give us a call, come and see me, come and talk to me, and we can point you down that road to getting you lined up with a consultant or getting you the funding that's required and talking about all of those sort of opportunities. And so after lunch, we'll be going out to see a couple of boiler sites, and we kept it quite short because once you've seen two of these wood boilers, you've seen them. They're very similar. You don't need to be trancing around lots and lots of them to know what they're like. And so we've got two really good sites to show you this afternoon, and we were hoping to organise a delivery into one of the sites while we're there, just so you could see that integration from the forest to the furnace. But it didn't work out, and we might put a little cardboard picture up so you can see the truck there. But you'll see the gist of it, and both sites they're very different in terms of storage, the way they store their fuel. So it gives you a good understanding of how that works, and getting the delivery system right on these is really critical. You don't need a truck sitting there for an hour unloading, as David would agree. Getting the storage, the delivery is just such a key part of getting it right. And so so I'll be floating around, and if you've got any questions, then shout out to me and come and say g'day. And hope you're enjoying today.
We do have a bit of time, so if someone's got something that they think would be of general benefit, they want to bring up to the floor now, because we've got a wee few minutes before lunch. I'm sure we're going to Kane. Anything come to mind?
Jerry,
Yes.
if I could say, there was a local firm involved in Splash Palace Sand Environment in Southland, and if anybody wants to come to CH4, I'm more than happy to help you with the details of both of those installations.
Okay, so there's John Fall there. Pop in and see you while he's around.
And John's part of the advisory group too, so we've also got an advisory group that is set up, and that's just so we're not going in any old direction that we want to go, and we're taking this advisory group with us, and we're feeding back to them, and they're hopefully going to be feeding back to us. And John's part of that, and they're in this space as well as being key service providers, and I guess installers and maintenance and all of that. So yeah.
Oh deal.
Yeah, we heard from Dunedin about the hub approach where there's provided with energy and users locally close by. Is there something like that here in the Valley?
What? Could you say that again, please?
Well, is there an opportunity where there are people close by that can actually operate in a hub scenario? Is that possible?
Oh, look, there probably are. We're working on one at the moment. It's probably a bit too early to talk about, and I've heard of some other potential whole subdivision options, but it's early days yet. I certainly know where there are some opportunities, but it takes a bit to get everyone lined up, and the bigger you get, the harder it gets. So watch this space, I guess. Hopefully there is. If there is a big boiler around and we only know it's used in winter time, well, there might be who's sitting next door to them. Do they need heat in summertime? Can we be piping the heat across to another site? So that's sort of part of my job, is trying to find those opportunities.
I see the focus at the moment's on the industrial scale of things, but do you think in future you will move towards wood pellets and other products that could be used in small scale boilers?
Yeah, I mean, for this project, not for this project, I can't see it going this way. I mean, it's there now, and I had an interesting conversation today with some of the guys at Nature's Flame, and sounds like delivery into Southland has gotten much cheaper of pallets, so that's going to be a really interesting, bring in another competitive fuel into the mix. So yeah, to get these targets, to hit these targets, we really need to be going after the big guys, and that's the whole idea. If we can get, 3 or 4 of these big plants on board, then that will help. That'll establish that base that you can grow from.
So what actually is the primary objective of the whole setup? Are you looking at mainly converting boilers, or are you looking at the long-term aspect of cleaning up waste wood that's left in the forest to a central point, generating it to electricity, or where are we going?
No, we're after process heat, so we're after hot water and steam is what we're primarily focused on. Converting boilers, yes, if the opportunity is there. And as you'll see today, we're going over to McCullum's dry cleaners, and that was a coal boiler, lignite boiler, and that's converted over, beautifully. But there'll be other occasions where the boilers failed, and we'll look at new boilers. So yeah. But again, it's the price of coal is cheap, but we just can't compare price to price, because you have to go in a lot deeper than that to do that full life cycle, and then we might stack up. These modern boilers, as Splash Palace have said, I think they went from 0.8 to 0.2 hours on the boiler, so you've got a lot less man time on a boiler, and at an industrial level, that's potentially a large saving that would compete. You've got boiler efficiency, so you're going from a much lower efficiency boiler to a more efficient boiler, so you actually need less fuel. So you might be able to compete more on that basis. So yeah, there's a lot of little bits and pieces in there that when you start adding them up, they add up to a good size number.
What about replacement value of the two as well?
Yeah, look, as far as I understand, they're reasonably, it's not cheap to put in a coal boiler. It's a large capital investment asset, and it's got low ongoing running costs. So the capital is pretty similar. I don't know, Edward, what do you think about that comment?
That's an interesting premise. It depends on the site, Lloyd.
Yeah.
It depends on how the customer uses heat, how much space they've got available for their fuel storage requirements. I think it's very site specific. Maybe that's the key point.
Yeah, but you look at an LPG boiler versus a wood boiler, you can't compare the initial cost to install these diesel boilers. They're much lower than these wood boilers, but the ongoing costs are much higher.
And if carbon tax is introduced, this is a preemptive strike.
Thank you. I think also, we'll just comment around the objective of the project as well. I think if this is very successful, and it will be successful, it will demonstrate certainly around Jason's feedback around the air shares, etc., that there will be benefits in the domestic market, picking up the gentleman's comment here as well. Obviously, benefits flowing down from that will help with conversions.
Could I just mention there's the Wood Energy Demand Assessment, which I opened in 2011, which gives an overview of the potential for wood in the Southland market. That's available via the ECO website. I'm sure we'll be linked to from there. And yes, I'm available for consulting services. Nathan's a regular partner. I'm local.
Yeah, and sorry, I actually forgot to mention Kelly and Chris are in the room as well. They're also part of this Wood Energy South team. They're up in Wellington or Auckland or wherever they are, but they're also part of this Wood Energy South project.
Thank you very much, Lord. It's a great project. Good to meet all the team and all the connections it's got, and of course Future South, and sort of combining it all together and making it feasible and getting it out to everyone in South. And so I think you're a great team, and I want to give you all a round of applause all together. Well done. Excellent.